Hello students, so your CBSE exams are here and it is a time to quickly revise your all chapters of class 10, and today we are going to discuss the chapter Statistics of class 10, and it is the best chapter to score high marks in less time. Okay, so we have no more time, we can directly move to our chapter Statistics. Then in the first section, we are going to discuss different central tendencies. Okay, so note that point, central tendency. Okay, so which are the three central tendencies we are going to discuss in this chapter? Then first one is mean, then second one is median, and third one is mode. So these are the three central tendencies we are going to discuss in this chapter. That's all about this chapter. So we are going to discuss the formulas. That formulas are very important. Okay, then we are going to discuss more about the mean. Okay, in this chapter we have three methods to find the mean. Okay, so which are the three methods? That methods are very important, and that methods we want to learn that method by learning that formulas. So write down the formulas of each methods. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the first method, and which is the first method to find out mean. First method is direct method. Then what about the second method? Second method is assumed mean method, and third method is step deviation method. Okay, then while we are looking at direct method, what is the formula for finding mean using direct method? Okay, then before that we want to learn which symbol is used to denote the mean of some values. Okay, so which is the letter we use to denote the mean? That is always the X bar. Then the formula to find out mean using direct method is sigma fi xi by sigma fi, and I think you all clear about what that sigma denote. That sigma denote the summation of all fi xi's. We already want to find out what is fi xi and the product of that fi xi, then find the sum of those fi xi's and sum of that fi, then divide that two values. Okay, then the next method is assumed mean method, and the formula for finding mean using that assumed mean method is a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. Okay, so write down the formula in your notebook. By using direct method, the formula to find out mean is x bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi, and the formula to find out the mean itself by using assumed mean method is a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. And what is a? A is the assumed mean. So we can discuss how to find that while we are discussing the problem. And what is di? Di is xi minus a. So if you got the value a, then it is very easy to find out xi minus a or di of each values. Okay, the next method is step deviation method, and the formula to find out, write it down in your notebook. The third formula to find out the mean, that is the mean with the help of step deviation method is a plus h into sigma fi ui by sigma fi. Then we have one more extra term. What is that? Ui. Then how will you find out ui? Ui is equal to xi minus a by h. And do you know what is xi minus a? We already discussed about xi minus a. And what is that? Yes, xi minus a is equal to di. Then we can rewrite it as xi minus a is equal to d, and it can be rewrite as d by h. And we already discussed xi several times. And what is xi for a grouped data? In this section we are discussing about grouped data. Okay, then how will you find that xi? Yes, by adding upper limit. Xi can be found by adding upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So that's all about this slide. So I think you got the equations to find out mean using different methods. So write it down in your notebook, and we want to discuss how to do the problems using all these equations in our next slides. Okay, I think you get it. Then the first method, that is direct method. So we are going to discuss how to do a problem or how to find mean using direct method. Here we are considering a class interval. So it's just a small class interval. You can do the same method by changing any intervals. You can do the problem by creating questions by your own or trying questions in your model question paper. Okay, so here I take a small interval 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 and 6 to 8, and the frequencies are also given. Then the first method is direct method, and here we are going to find the mean or using direct method. Okay, so what is the formula? Yes, x bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi. Okay, so we want to find out the value of xi. How will you find the value of xi? Just adding this upper limits and lower limit, then divide it by 2. So what will be the answer here? 0 and 2. So just adding 0 plus 2. What is 0 plus 2? 0 plus 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2, that is 1. So we got the value 1. Then next is 2 to 4. 2 to 4. So what will be the mid value, or what will be the class value? So that is equal to 3. Then next is 4 to 6. 4 to 6 means 4 plus 6. So that is 5. Then here we have 7. So we got all the values of xi. Then what will be the next thing, or the next column we want to add in this table? Yes, fi into xi. So how will you get that? You already know the formula to find out the mean of a grouped data using direct method. That is sigma fi into xi. And we have xi, we have fi. So the next thing we want to find is fi into xi. So add the next column fi xi to our table. Then the column is here. Then we want to multiply fi with xi. So what is that? Fi and xi are here. So 6 into 1, 6. Then 8 into 3 is 24. 5 into 5, 25. Then 2 into 7, 14. Then we have the formula. Formula is x bar is equal to sigma fi xi by sigma fi. That is the sum of these all fi xi's by sum of these all fi's. Then it is very easy to find the sums, then divide those two sums. So that's all about to find mean using direct method. The method is clear, I think so. So find the answer and just check whether your answer is correct. Okay, so this is all about the direct method to find out the mean. So the next method, we are moving to our next method, that is assumed mean method. We are going to consider the same class interval, same question, but changing the method. Okay, so here is the same question, and we already find out the values of xi. Then how will you find the mean using assumed mean method? We already know the formula. So in that formula, we need one more value. What is that? Yes, di. Then how will you find di? That is our question. How would you find di? Di is equal to xi minus a. So there is a term a. I already discussed. We can find a while we are discussing this problem. How will you find a? What is a? A is assumed mean. So here we are going to find mean, assumed mean. So here we have two intervals are the middle class interval. So we can consider any two values as the a, either this value or this value. So here we can consider a is equal to 3. So I take assumed mean as 3, or you can take assumed mean as 5 itself. Okay. Then here we are going to find the next column. What will be the next column we want to add? Yes, that is di, that is xi minus a, and we are going to find each di's. What will be xi minus a? Xi is here 1 and a is fixed. What is the value of a? A is 3. So 1 minus 3, that is minus 2. Then 3 minus 3, 0. 5 minus 3, 2. 7 minus 3, 4. So here we have the values. Then the next column is di is fi into di. So our formula is x bar is equal to sigma fi into a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. And we have the value of a. Then we want to find out the value of fi di. How will you find fi di? Just multiply this frequency. 6 into minus 2. What is 6 into minus 2? Minus 12. Then fi into di. Next is 8 into 0. That is 0. So this way you can find all the values of fi di. Hence we can complete that table. Then what will be the mean using assumed mean method? We already know the formula. What is the formula? Formula for finding mean is a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi, and we have the value a is equal to 3. Then 3 plus sigma fi di, that is the sum of that column Fi di divided by that sum of column Fi. So it is also easy to find the sum of Fi di because we already find the values of Fi and di. We already have that values. Okay. So you can find the column Fi into di by multiplying those two values and just add all the values of Fi di, then find the sum, then divide that sum by sigma Fi, then add these three with that sum. Okay, so this is all about our finding mean using assumed mean method. So method is clear. Check the answer. We already find the mean using direct method and check is the same answer as that of our direct method. Okay, so check the mean using both this method. Then we are moving to our next method, that is step deviation method, and here also we are going to consider the same question because we need to verify whether while changing all the method is there any change in our answer. So we are using the same question to do all of our methods. Okay, so here also we are considering the same class interval with same frequency and we want to find out xi that we already find. So here the answer xi's are given. Then what is the formula for finding x bar using our step deviation method? While thinking that you can add the frequency columns we want to find. Okay, so what is the formula? X bar is equal to a plus we require a new term ui there. What is ui? Ui is equal to xi minus a by h. So you just find out that column. That what is that? Xi minus a by h. So that column is added here. Then a is already fixed. What is the value of a we take? That is 3. Then this here we have 3 and we want to find out all the values of ui. How will you find that value? We have a, then it is easy to find out xi minus a. What is xi minus a? 1 minus 3, that is minus 2. And we have h. What is the value of h? H is the class size. So here what is the value of h? H is same for here the class intervals are always of equal length. So h is always equal to upper limit minus lower limit of any class interval. So consider h is equal to upper limit of the first class interval is 2, then minus 0, that is 2. So we get h also. Okay, so it is easy to find out the value. So we can do first column, first row as example, that is xi minus a. Xi is 1 and a is 3. So 1 minus 3 becomes minus 2. Then minus 2 by h. Minus 2 by 2 means minus 1. So we get the value ui. So in the similar way, you can find all the values of ui. Okay. Then you got ui. Then what will be the next column? Fi into ui. We have fi. We have ui. So it is easy to find out the product of that fi and ui. That is, here we have fi. Fi is equal to 6 and here we have ui. Ui is equal to minus 1. So what will be fi into ui? Fi into ui becomes minus 6. 6 into minus 1, that is equal to minus 6. So this way you can find all the values of fi into ui and ui. And if you got that, it is easy to find out the mean using our formula. So what is our formula? Write down the formula first. X bar is equal to a plus h into sigma fi ui by sigma fi. And we have all the values in this equation, right? Yes, because a is here. Then h is here, then sigma fi ui, we can find that by completing this table and find out the total of these all fi ui, and we have frequency, then we can find out sigma fi using by finding the sum of that all frequency. Okay, so just substitute the all values in the equation, then find the answer. Then check, your activity is you check is all means of using different methods are same. So that's the work. Just check whether we change our method, is there any change in the mean value, so the change in x bar values. Okay, so that's all about our first central tendency, mean. Okay, then if the question is just check mean of any data, you have your own choice, you can select any method. But if the method is specified, check find the mean of find the mean of this data using this method, using assumed mean method, using direct method, or using appropriate method, then you want to do it that way. Okay, otherwise it is your choice. You can choose any method to find out the mean. Okay, then we are going to move to our second central tendency, that is median. In the median, we only have one formula to find out median of a grouped data. Okay, then here we are going to learn the formula. So write down the next formula. We already learned the three formulas to find out the mean using three methods. Okay, direct method, assumed mean method, and step deviation method. So we have that formulas. Then next, median. Median of grouped data can be found using the formula L plus N by 2 minus CF by F into H. So the only thing we need to find the median is just check which are the values or which are the letters denoting the formula. Okay, so we can look with the help of a problem. Here we have the same problem and we are going to find the median. So students, while you are discussing median, you want to find out one more table. Here this table is called a frequency table. So when you are going to find out median, you want to add one more column, that is cumulative frequency column, and that table is called a cumulative frequency table. So while you are finding the median, first you construct the cumulative frequency table. And what is cumulative frequency? We can check that the cumulative frequencies is the frequencies by adding all this one. Okay, so here we have 6. Then how will you got the next cumulative frequency? 6 plus 8. What is 6 plus 8? 6 plus 8 is 14. Then next is 14 plus next frequency value. Next frequency value is 5. So 14 plus 5 is 19. Then next frequency value is 2. So 19 plus 2 is 21. And check, is this last cumulative frequency and the sum of frequency have any relation? Yes, that sum of all frequency will be equal to the last cumulative frequency or 21. Okay, so first, while you are doing the problem of median, first construct a cumulative frequency table. I think you got it. Okay, then the next step is to find the n by 2. Okay, first we have n. What is n? N is equal to sigma Fi. And here we have sigma Fi. What is sigma Fi? 21. So find n by 2. That is 21 by 2. What is 21 by 2? That is 10.5. So next aim is to find a median class. Which class is considered as the median class? That is our next step. So while you are discussing median, first thing is to check which is the to construct a cumulative frequency table. The next is to check which is the median class. How will you check that? N by 2 is here 10.5. So which class interval is completes that 10.5? So which is that? Here we have 6, but which is less than 10.5. So never consider that. Then next is a CF 14. So that is greater than 10.5. So the cumulative frequency that comes after or equal to 10.5 is this class, and here is our median class. 2 to 4 is our median class. Then we are going to consider each terms. What is L? L is the lower limit of the median class. So what will be the value of L here? L is equal to lower limit of the median class. Here we have lower limit. Which is the lower limit? 2, and upper limit 4. So here we want the value lower limit, that is L. Then L is equal to 2. The next thing, n by 2. We already specified the value of n by 2. What is n by 2? That is 10.5. Then next is CF. CF of? Yes, there is a change by considering CF while you are doing the problem median. CF is not the CF of that median class. It is the CF of the preceding class of the our data. So what is the CF of our preceding class? Preceding class is the class before the median class. So what is that CF? CF is here. Then CF is equal to 6. So we have CF also. Then what is F? F is the frequency of the median class. So, which is the frequency of median class? That is 8. Then we have F also. Then H. What is the value of H? H is equal to class size. How will you got that class size? We already discussed that. Yes, by subtracting upper limit minus lower limit. So, that's already here, upper limit minus lower limit. So, we get 4 minus 2, that is equal to 2. Then we got all the values, that is the terms we are using in our formula median. Then just substitute these all values in our formula L plus N by 2 minus CF by F into S, then find out the answer. So, while you are doing the problem, first find out these product, then after that adding that L to our product. Okay, so you will get the answer. So that is our median, and there is a method to check whether your answer is correct, because the median class, here is our median class, that median always lies in between this median class. Okay, so if you got an answer greater than 4, you can understand your answer is wrong. And if you got an answer less than 2, that is less than our lower limit, then you can identify your answer is wrong. So that median is always lies between that upper limit and the lower limit, that is between 2 and 4. Okay, so that's all about our median. Then we are moving to our last central tendency, that is mode. Okay, here also you want to by heart that formula. Then we already discussed 3 types of methods to find out mean. 3 formulas are there. The next is to find out median, and here there also we have a formula. The next is mode. So here also you just learn the formula. Formula for find out the mode is L plus F1 minus F0 by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H. Okay, so the only thing you need to learn is which are the terms, or what each terms means. Okay, so while we are learning the median, you familiar about median class, right? Okay, so here we have the model class. So if you identify the model class, then it is very easy to find out the mode of the data. Then here is the question. Then we are going to find out the model class. Model class is actually very easy. The class which have highest frequency. Okay, actually mode is that the highest frequently repeated value. Okay, so here the model class of grouped data is the class which have highest frequency. So which is the class that have highest frequency here? Here we have so much frequencies, and the highest frequency among this is 8, and here is the model class. Okay, then it is very easy to check, verify whether the answer is correct, because here we have L. L is equal to, now it's clear, L is lower limit. So if L is lower limit of median class, in the case of median, what will be L here? Yes, L is the lower limit of model class. Okay, so L is equal to, yes, 2. Then what will be F1, F0 and F2? Okay, F0 will be the class frequency of class preceding our model class, and F1 is the frequency of our model class, and F2 is the frequency of our succeeding model class. Okay, so we are going to find out F1. F1 is the frequency of the model class itself. So what is the value of frequency of model class? 8. Then what is F0? F0 is the frequency of preceding model class. 0 is before 1, right? So F0 is the frequency of preceding model class. So what is that? Yes, 6. Then F2. What is F2? F2 is after F1. So what will be that? The frequency of the succeeding class. Okay, so what will be that? 5. Then we have all the values, and H is now familiar for you. H is equal to upper limit minus lower limit, and that is equal to 4 minus 2. So 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Then we have all the values. So just substitute these values in the equation and find out the mode. Okay, so this is all about our mode. Then we are moving to last section, that is the relationship between mean, median and mode. Actually, this is a repeated question in MCQ section. Okay, this formula can be changed in different method. 3 median minus 2 mean is equal to mode, or you can rewrite it as 3 median minus 1 mode is equal to 2 mean. Okay, or you can rewrite it as 3 median is equal to 1 mode plus 2 mean. Okay, so while changing the forms, you can ask any question from your MCQ question, that is the relation connecting these three central tendencies, or the relation connecting mean, median and mode. So write down these two in your notebook. So we learned mean, median, mode and the relation between mean, median and mode. So write down all the formulas in your notebook and just revise all the question using by changing. You can construct your own questions and you can apply that formulas in these questions. Okay, so that's all about our chapter statistics.